Bam. Bam. How are you? How are you? It is Thursday night. It's the 1st of September. Do you notice anything different about the camera tonight? Is it more cloudy than usual? We'll get into that. Got a lot to talk about tonight, but I do feel like I need to introduce myself to all those people who might be watching for the first time. My name is John Schenk, and I am the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small residential real estate firm. We focus on helping buyers buy homes and helping sellers sell theirs. Small brokerage, South St. Louis. That's what we do. When I'm not doing that, I'm doing some streaming. Yeah. Got into it about a year ago, and I found it to be very fascinating, very challenging. There are times when I wonder what the hell I'm doing. I had 99 subscribers, and then I was so excited I announced it, and then I ended up with 98. So, things happen. Now my nose is itching, and it's like, oh. Anyway, I don't know if the motion is good. I'm really irritated by a lot of things here tonight as far as the camera, and we'll go over those. But anyway, yeah, so Deerwood Realty, the live stream, talk about real estate events, real estate news. If you watched my stream, would you be in a good place with the market? Probably. I've got my hands in the marketplace every day. I kind of know what's going on. You could do a lot worse than listen to me if you were going to go look for a new home to buy, or if you were considering selling. You could do a heck of a lot worse. There are other people out there, I guess, you could listen to, but I don't think anybody gives you the live stream like I do. I really don't. So anyway, lots to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, obviously, mortgage rates. We're going to talk about an odd cultural phenomenon that happened to me a while back and now has happened to someone a little more famous than me, and what happened with that. We're going to talk about, I always do this. We're going to talk about the camera because Cameron and I are not friends. We're going to talk about the housing slowdown that isn't slowing down. And we're going to talk about zombie properties. Who doesn't want to know what a zombie property? I don't know what a zombie property is, to be quite honest with you. Now, I don't know today how things are going to go. I don't know if I'll be on for an hour or longer. It depends on you, kind of. If I start getting people in the chat, if things start happening, then we're going to keep going. But I don't know if that's going to happen. It hasn't happened for the last, 100 episodes. So why would it happen tonight? I don't know. Is it the camera? Here's the thing on the camera. Let's talk about this. So I have an obsessive personality. Okay. And for as long as I've had this camera, one thing sticks out to me that irritates me more than anything. And that is, if you can see, I got to do it the right way. If you watch this statue, it never comes in clearly. And there's this pulsating. Okay. I have a Sony A6400 camera. There are probably 9 screens. There are probably more than 1 million different combinations of, how to film a live stream. And I mean to tell you, I think I've been through all of them today. I started at about 9:30 this morning. I just, for some reason, decided that today was the day that I was going to get involved in it, because here's what I desire more than anything else. I love crystal clear video. When I'm watching it, I love it. And you guys aren't getting the crystal clear video, and I cannot figure out why. I can't figure out if it's my computer. I can't figure out if it's coming from my camera. But so I spent all day. I spent until 7 o'clock tonight. So from 9:30 to 7, going through every single combination I possibly could, every single setting I possibly could, to try to get you a better product. Did I get a better product? I don't know. Right now, it feels like I'm a little bit, how do I put it? Delayed. I feel like it's a little delayed. I feel like the video is choppy. I hate the pulsating background, and that is something that is just unacceptable. I'll tell you what, I can't even stand watching it sometimes. It drives me nuts. Now, I don't know if you've never been on the stream before. Maybe it doesn't bother you. But boy, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And so, like I said, I spent all day working on it. I didn't get anything else done. I shuffled some paperwork, but I mean, that's not really that exciting. And yeah, I'm right here. So here's the thing. Around 4:00, I started watching YouTube videos about, camera lenses. I got the hint that maybe it was the lens a ways into it, because I started looking up like, why is the background pulsating? And then people say, well, they fix it this way and that way, and I would fix it and it would not fix it at all. I mean, it just drove me nuts. And so I finally have decided that it's the lens. Now, lenses aren't cheap. Here's a couple of problems I have right now with the live stream. One, I like the live stream. Two, I want the live stream to be the best possible production it can be, the best quality value it can be. Okay. But number three is I'm not making any money at this, like none. Like I can't even have super chats because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So anything I do is me just spending money on something that may never, ever take off. Now you may say, well, John, that's the way life is. You take chances. Sometimes you win or you lose. Okay. I've taken a lot of chances in my life. I mean, you have to understand, I own my own real estate brokerage. I mean, that's a chance. I'm going up against people like Compass and Berkshire Hathaway and whatever Coldwell Banker's back end is called now. I have no idea. I forgot. It's like Today or something. It's just the most bizarre name. Keller Williams, eXp Realty. I mean, I'm going against all these other brokerages. And plus we've got local brokerages that do awesome here in St. Louis. So, I mean, it's a very crowded marketplace. Okay. And so here I am. It got so bad that I went and got a different lens, and the lens is supposed to be here on Saturday. Now, this is Labor Day weekend coming up. I don't have anybody that's just beating down my door to see houses this weekend. I suspect a lot of people are going to be out of town. I know of maybe one property that's coming up for sale this weekend that my buyers might be interested in. I will know more tomorrow on Friday, but I ordered a lens and it will be here on Saturday, a new lens. I don't know how it's going to go. Like, look, if it takes me another 6 hours or 7 hours or 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hours, if it takes me another 10 hours to adjust that lens, to adjust the set so that we can have good video, I'll do it. But on Saturday, I mean, that just depends on when I get the camera lens. I have a wedding Saturday night to go to. Got to be there about 6. I do plan on streaming. And by the way, the camera, I'm not changing the camera until, I'm not messing with it anymore. I don't care how bad the picture is. I'm not messing with it anymore until at least Saturday. But, how do I explain this? Of all the things I might be able to fix, I feel like I have very good lighting. I feel like if I have to move the lighting in, I can. If I have to move it out, I can. That's not a problem. I can't fix the computer right now. The computer is not a great computer. It's good enough. I think like a calculator that they designed last year would beat my computer in power right now. But I'm working. I mean, it's just to justify a new computer when the chip prices have gone off the rails is tough. But I feel like I can change out the lens. I feel like you guys are worth the change. And I hope you understand that I'm doing my best. I'm trying. Lens is going to cost me quite a bit of money. And again, I don't make any money on YouTube. So this is like me investing in something a little bit ahead of the time. And again, the last news I have on the channel is that I lost a subscriber, not that I've gained any subscribers. So that's rough. But anyway, Saturday, will I do an unboxing? No. Because then I'd have to, how would I do that? I'd have to put it like right here. Now you can see how perfect the focus is. I mean, this camera is kick ass. It's just the wrong camera for what I'm trying to do. I'm going with that. I don't know if you need to believe it, but anyway, we're just going to deal with it. Okay. That's the bottom line. I'm not screwing with the camera anymore until Saturday. And I'm going to a wedding Saturday night. So if I don't stream, you know what happened. You know what happened. I ran out of time. I was showing houses or something, and I just had to go to the wedding. Now, I'm having a heck of a time with this holiday, Labor Day, because, most weekends I show houses. And so this weekend, I'm just used to showing houses, and I probably won't be showing houses. And I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to cut the grass. But we're going to talk about it in a little bit. There's a reason why I'm probably sitting home. It's not a good reason. I have to do these hooks because that's how you get people to watch the videos to the end, the live streams. But you know what? You don't have to wait to the end. You can literally chat with me right now. You could put in the chat, "Hey, John, why are you not showing any houses this week? What did you allude to?" And I would tell you. So yeah, Thursday night, got to it a little late. I would like to have streamed this afternoon. I'd like to have been sitting down, watching YouTube, maybe myself. I probably will watch this video because I want to see how bad it shows up. I mean, every single, if you look like right, if you look like right here, like look how clear that is. Look how clear that is. And look how clear the microphone is. Okay. And look how clear my face is for the most part. But then behind me, it's this pulsating background and it drives me nuts. So, I was in all, I had a really wonderful lady when I was starting out in thinking about doing a YouTube channel. I had a really nice lady that was shooting video for me for my house listings. And she would try to help me and I would try to understand, but like I'm getting old and cameras are just, I just didn't even have any idea how they've gotten. Like, man, the technology is ridiculous. And she recommended I get the Sony A6400 and I did. And I like the camera for the most part, but it's not, to me, it's not point and shoot, it's like, set it this way for this thing, this way for this thing. And it's like, I would like it to be a little bit easier. I had thought about getting a GoPro because I think that I would like to do more work on videos like where I'm out in the public. But the problem is I'm kind of busy, and to edit those videos and to do a live stream, so anyway, she showed me the basics, but we didn't talk about the aperture, the f-stop, and the ISO, those two things. We talked about it, but I didn't understand it at the time. And let me tell you how bad it is. So I have on my camera, it zooms to 35 millimeter, which everyone says is great. But unfortunately, the f-stop is 4.5. So I'm going down to a fixed lens, 30 millimeter, 1.4 on the f-stop. It goes all the way up to 30. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and have a very crisp picture and then a blurred background, but not where it just continuously blurs like this, where it pulsates. It just stays where it is. That's the goal. Why? Because that's what everybody else does. And that's what I've always liked. I wanted it to work out for me, but it just isn't. I'm not going to get that clear picture of the background that I wanted with this particular setup. So I'm changing it. Now I might have to move my desk forward. I might have to move my desk backward. I might have to move the stuff behind me. I don't know. But just to give you an idea of what mess I got myself into today, I wasn't aware that my camera even had a level indicator on screen. It does. I used it today. So we should be perfectly level, but everything was just a disaster today. Now you may say, John, why are you shooting in 4K? I'm shooting 4K and 24 frames per second when you can't even stream at 24 or at 4K. That's a good point. Why am I doing that? I don't know. My other point would be this. I feel like the best, if I can like I use StreamYard. I'm on the top plan. It's ironic because I never ever talk to anybody, so I don't even know why I'm on StreamYard. But anyway, you only go out to in 1080p on a live stream. So my thinking, the only thing I'm thinking now is look, the better the input is, the better and clearer and the right way the picture is, the better you will respond, general public, to my videos. That's what I'm going with. I mean, this camera, if I were to like do a scene where I was walking or something, it would be perfect. The problem I have with the camera is it's heavy. I don't want to be holding you couldn't hold a selfie stick. It'd be like 4 pounds. And they call it a vlogging camera. I don't know if it's even a vlogging camera. It takes beautiful photos. Okay. The videos could be nice and we'll see with the lens, and you wouldn't notice, like if I were moving, you wouldn't see this pulsating because I'd be moving. You know what I'm saying? If I was walking, if I had a scene where I was walking or something, or even if I was filming like an animal coming towards me, I could hit this button that does the animals, has an animal setting, an animal eye setting. It'll track the eyes and it would fix all this. But man, it has been a disaster. So anyway, will I buy a GoPro camera to go out in the public more? I think I might. I was going to just buy let's be honest. I'll be honest with you. The GoPro camera costs about as much as the lens that I'm buying for my camera. I mean, think about that. You know, you say, well, John, maybe you shouldn't get a special camera. Maybe you should rent a lens and see. The lenses that I could rent were not as good as the lens I could buy. You say, well, maybe you get a used one. It'd be cheaper. It's like, I don't want to use one. I mean, I buy stuff online all the time, but I used lens for someone like myself, who I'd say is a novice at filming. It's just not going to work. Now, it could be my graphics card, but I can't get a better graphics card with the computer that I have because that makes no sense. Again, the graphics card would cost more than the computer. But look, these problems are temporary. I hate to say this, but as I've gotten older and people have passed away around me, I mean, I totally get that these problems will go away at some point. It's kind of dark. I don't mean it, a bad way, but I use that to try to explain, like, these aren't the worst problems that you're going to encounter. The fact that I want to have a nice, clean, crisp picture for my viewers, and I spend a lot of time, working on it, it's not the worst thing in the world. So we can talk. We talked about real estate agents' personalities. I'm going to change the subject a little bit, but I'm going to explain how I've always done things and how it's always wrong. So like I said, I told you guys, I have an obsessive personality. Well, what does that mean? Well, at age 45, it's a bizarre thing. I've told you, I mean, I'll give you my faults. I'm not ashamed of them. I said a couple nights ago, like, I have to, there are times when I want to do a live stream and I've got myself in such a situation where mentally I'm trying to be so perfect that I can't even produce anything. Like, literally can't even write on a piece of paper, like, anything. Literally can't talk about anything because I'm just so tied up on stuff. But something in, I don't know, I'm telling you guys, because I've never really figured it out. Something in my personality with technology, I don't know if it's because I grew up with it or what, but I mean, I can figure stuff out. It's going to take me forever, but I will sit there and do it, and time will fly faster than anything else. And then you might say, well, John, that means you should have probably been in IT or something like that. No, I don't think I should have. I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. But this behavior, this obsessiveness, it is not always great in the real estate business. And let me give you an example. I am dealing with a house that was built in 1850. Okay. I am representing the buyer. Okay. The seller and the seller's agent, they're wonderful people. Okay. There can be no doubt. With this deal, it's stretched out over a long period of time, longer than I'm used to, so longer than 30 days. And the issues that we are confronted almost on a daily basis, but if not a daily basis, on a weekly basis, I mean, it just everything, nothing can go smoothly, and has not one thing. And I want you to know, it's not my buyers, it's not the sellers, it's not the listing agent, and it's not me. But there are things, let's just say there's a contingency out there, okay? And I know the contingencies out there. Like every day I know it's there and I can't get it fixed because I'm waiting on other people to do things that they're being paid to do. And it just drives me nuts. Sometimes I'll get bad news about the property and then I'll have to tell my buyers. That drives me nuts. But I'm not in control of this situation, 100%. But anyway, the obsession, this desire to always have clients that are happy with the situation, it's tough because some of these situations aren't ones that can make somebody happy. It's just, and then when I have to say something that lets people down, I feel like I let people down. And I mean, this is on every deal. I mean, I can't tell you how often I was writing offers this summer and getting blown out of the water, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over asking. And I'm only like, I'm only like 15 to 20. And I have to go back to the buyers and the nice couples and things like that. And they say, no, it's okay, John. It's okay. It's like, I mean, yes, it's okay, but man, it just drags on me. And so as I've gotten older, I mean, I could obsess over anything. I could obsess over our logo. I could obsess over anything. And so as I've gotten older, like my strategy has been, well, don't get yourself in a situation that what I would call a time suck. Okay. There are certain things like my accountant wants accounting statements every month. I don't care. I don't need accounting statements every month. Okay. The problem is I'll never do them unless I sit down and do them. And then when I start doing them, then I start looking up all this stuff. It just takes forever. It just everything that you do. I mean, God forbid you answer the phone and it's like a salesperson, because you're going to be on the phone forever unless you hang up, and you don't want to be a rude person. And so you just get in these situations where my own productivity is, hey, be careful. I'm going to get stuck in a time suck. I can see it coming. The camera thing, I didn't see it coming, but once I started, I knew what happened and I knew where I was. And like right now you can see the result. I don't know if it's any better. I honest to God don't know that the video is any better than it was yesterday. And I've got 7 to 10 hours in it. Oh God. So moving on. Just wanted to tell you guys I went to dinner tonight and I had a fantastic dinner. Took the wife out. She's like, hey, you want to go out to eat? Honestly, every single item on the menu everything that we ordered was the best that I've ever had of everything of those foods. They had a chocolate creme brulee. I mean to tell you, it was just outstanding. I had like what we call a steak sandwich. They're pretty familiar here, but the meat was soft and tender, and it was just cheesy and hot. Parmesan fries, the homemade ketchup. My wife had salmon with spinach. The salad was good. The bread was good. Every single thing in this food, this restaurant, was outstanding. And I tell you this because ever since the Rona, the restaurant industry has been hit hard. And I mean, we went out to eat to try and help out restaurants, but man, some of the food's been pretty terrible, pretty awful. But this place was fantastic. I ate a lot, and I should probably be napping, but I wanted to do a live stream tonight because I have a lot of fun with them. I don't know why. I know you guys watch them after I do them, which is interesting. You're welcome to watch it live. Part of the problem is you're probably thinking, John, if you just give me a consistent time when you'd be on, then I would show up. And I appreciate that. But I just, I'm just not able to do that with my schedule. Sometimes I'm showing houses at night, and sometimes I'm have commitments, and sometimes during the day it goes downhill. I don't know what else to say. Man, I did a ton of videos today. I watched a ton of videos on I was downloading some stuff, and so I was watching videos on how to do a better live stream. It all started this morning with an email from a company, and they said, like, you need to try these things to do a better live stream. And I don't know that they're true, but I figured, okay, so we're trying some of the things out. No one said go buy a lens. I just ended up with like, look, I want to get a lens. Now I could go, like right now I've got a lot of lights on. I should probably turn them down. I can change all this stuff now. At least that's, if there's one silver lining, I know a lot of settings I can change, and I know kind of what they'll do. My fear, honestly, is my camera. It's great. I mean, it shoots 4K. It's not so much as it's future proof, but it's like pretty darn close to, like, I don't have to worry about it for a while. I mean, since when we start streaming in 4K, when you have the ability to do so, I mean, I'll be good. I'll be in good shape. So, how do I put it? I mean, I don't know. That's not going to be the problem. My problem is that the software, like, I'm on Sony mirrorless cameras now. Like, now that I'm getting the next lens, I mean, you're kind of stuck in Sony when you get their E-mod lenses. Like, you can't really go get another, when you have to get another camera, and then you have to get lenses that would fit that camera. Anyway, enough about me. So just putting an end note on everything. Look, Saturday, I'd really love to have the new camera lens in place, and I'd really love to get your guys' opinion on how it looks. But might be Sunday, might be Monday. My assistant is off on Monday, which is not helpful. Oh, okay. There's stuff to talk about tonight. I don't know how to frame it, but let's get into it. Okay. The first thing I wanted to talk about, let's see if this will go like this. Okay. I want to show you this. We had talked about this a while back, and for it to come back, it's really wild. It says Stacey Dash sobs as she learns DMX died more than a year later. Now, I don't know who Stacey Dash is. I'm just looking on more on Stacey Dash. It says Stacey Dash announces split from her fourth husband. That's not who I am. Actress turned pundit Stacey Dash quits politics. Stacey Dash reveals past addiction. I was taking 18 to 20 pills a day. I don't know anything about Stacey Dash, but we're gonna get into it. It says Stacey Dash is heartbroken to learn DMX died more than a year too late. Now, my response to that is DMX died? He had this one one song. It's pretty catchy. It said the Clueless star, 55. I didn't watch Clueless. I know it had Alicia Silverstone in it. Did they do a Clueless 2? I don't know. Anyway. It says, broke down in tears over the rapper's death in a TikTok video posted Wednesday, saying she was ashamed that she didn't know about his cocaine-induced heart attack. She's ashamed. I had no idea. I didn't know what he died of. I didn't really remember he was dead. It says, I am today 6 years and 1 month clean, and it breaks my heart. He lost to it. He lost that demon of addiction. Please don't lose. I don't know. The guy was 55 years old and doing cocaine, or no? We don't know how old he was. We know you're 55 years old. You shouldn't do cocaine. It's dangerous. I know it's an addiction. I'm not trying to make light of that. I'm just saying, like, it says the Single Ladies alum, I don't know if that was a show, a movie, acknowledged that her social media upload was late, adding, I was strolling through TikTok and found a DMX song that has saved me many times. Suddenly it says RIP. I did not know he passed away. He OD'd and I'm heartbroken. He was such a great guy. So I'm trying to figure out, the mechanics of this. So like you're scrolling through TikTok and you see like your friend, you know, or not even your friend. I don't know what the relationship is. I mean, like you heard his music and then like, you're like, well, I need to get on TikTok and cry about it. It says confused fans. I think that's reasonable. I'm confused by it. I don't know what I'm a fan of here. Commented on, I mean, like, are people that follow me on TikTok, are they my fans? Are you my fans? Do I have fans? Confused fans commented on Dash's emotional footage with one joking. You shouldn't make light of someone passing and sobbing about it. This brings a whole new meaning to clueless. Like, in a sense, like, are you stupid that you didn't know this? And that's kind of where I'm kind of going with this is like this woman or a man. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. She's somehow being shamed for not knowing that DMX, the rapper, passed away a year ago. She's 55 years old. I'm 45 years old, and I'm not really right with DMX. Like, I think it was for people, like a group of people younger than me. It says, another ask, is this a trailer of Clueless 2? Now, this woman's having an issue. I mean, she's really upset. It says it's confusing her fans. It says, many wondered where Dash has been to miss the news, knowing that DMX's death was everywhere last year. I don't remember it. But you know what? How do I put it? I mean, if you're not in, like, where is the culture where you're going to get the news that DMX passed away? Like, are you going to be following, like, was it hip hop culture? Entertainment culture? Like, you know, you almost have to be somewhere. I mean, I would say that, like, if you're following politics, like that's your passion, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of discussion about DMX's passing. If you're a movie critic or a movie star, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of, maybe there'll be, because it's entertainment. If you're a farmer, okay, looking up farm news. If you're a real estate agent, I mean, okay, I'm just saying, I don't. Oh, that was weird. Okay. If it blacks out on your screen, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, but probably the camera and probably complain about it. Okay. The Grammy winner's family confirmed he died at age 50 on April 9th, 2021, after being left in a vegetative state. Earl was a warrior, that's DMX, who fought till the very end. The Party Up in Here, that was the song. Now, Party Up in Here. Was this the song that helped save Stacey Dash many times? He loved his family with all his heart, and we cherish the times we spent with him. Celebrities also paid tribute to DMX, including his Cradle 2 co-star, Gabriel Union. Now, so this means that he was in the movie. So like when we were talking about entertainment, it says, I'm forever grateful for your joy, your laugh, your protection all these years, and your hugs anytime I've seen you. The Bring It On star, I believe that's Gabrielle Union, wrote 49, by the way. She's 49 via Instagram. You were one of one. Now, I believe this is all like post news. Like that was written back then. They're just kind of bringing it back up. Now, my thought about this is it's not dumb. And here's why. If you go back and look at my live streams, I don't know which one, but within the last week and a half or so, maybe two, I was telling you guys about Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac has been dead since 2008. I just realized he was dead like last week. It's 2022. I believe it's like, what is it? 2008? My math isn't the greatest. 2010 to 2020, that's 12 years. He's been dead for 14 years. I had no idea. Like, it's quite possible that he could have died. I could have felt bad about it and then forgotten about it. I would not take time to get on my phone and make a TikTok about, the passing of Bernie Mac now. And I'm also not a celebrity. I guess Stacey Dash is So I don't want this woman. I think my thing is gosh, she is expressing an emotion that's real and genuine, hopefully. But it's wrong to say like, hey, she's an idiot because she didn't know. And the reason why I'm using this is because I myself also don't remember people when they pass away on a daily basis. I'll have to look it up. I'm going to look it up because I got, I got a captive audience here. Let's see if, let's see here if we got a definition of that. A false theory. Is it the Mandela effect? I don't know. The Mandela effect, false memories can sometimes be shared by multiple people. The phenomenon was dubbed the Mandela effect by paranormal researcher Fiona Broom, who reported having vivid and detailed memories of news coverage of South African anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Mandela actually died in 2013 after serving president of South America from 1994 to 1999. She reported that since 2010, perhaps thousands of other people had written online about having the same memory of Mandela's death, and she speculated that the phenomenon could be evidence of parallel realities. That's a little tough. Okay, so it says other well-documented examples of shared false memories come from a 2010 studies that examined people familiar with the clock at Bologna Central Railway Station, which was damaged at the Bologna massacre in August of 1980. In the study, 92% of respondents falsely remembered the clock had remained stopped since the bombing when, in fact, the clock was repaired shortly after the attack. Years later, the clock was again stopped and set to the time of the bombing in observance and commemoration of the bombing. I don't know anything about that one, but it says other examples include memories of the title of the Berenstein Bears children's books, spelled Berenstein. So I thought that's how it was spelled. It says the logo of the closing band, Fruit of the Loom, featuring a cornucopia. It doesn't. And the existence of a 1990s movie titled Shazam starring Sinbad as a genie. The false memories of Shazam have been explained as a confabulation of real memories, possibly including the comedian wearing a genie-like costume during a TV marathon of Sinbad the Sailor movies. Wow, he had many movies. And the 1996 Kazam featuring a genie played by the basketball star Shaquille O'Neal. And a late 1960s animated series about a genie called Shazam. Likewise, false memories of Mandela's death could be explained as the subject confabulating him with Steve Biko. No offense. And the prominent South African apartheid activist who died in prison in 1977. But here, look, it's not the Mandela effect because they did in fact die. Would people think that? I don't know. It is a false. It's a false not memory because I don't remember that happening. I don't know. Maybe I've spent too much time on this. Put it in the comment section. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Do you know how many people are dead that you think are still alive? Let's go with the one that I don't want to, Joe Diffie. He died. Joe Diffie's not around anymore. You know who Joe Diffie is? Joe Diffie. Let's look it up in Wikipedia. Joe Diffie died in 2020. That was 2 years ago, but I know he's dead. I feel like the longer someone's dead, let's see. How we're doing. Kurt Cobain. When did that dude die? Kurt Cobain died in 1994. Seriously, 1994. Does it seem like that long? No. What about Jim Henson? Jim Henson? Jim Henson. I remember 1990. It's just crazy. I don't know. I'm not gonna tear up over it, but all I'm saying is that, we put people in places in our conscience, and I don't know that it's necessarily like a time capsule. My own thinking. What's that dude? Milton Berle? Milton Berle. When did he die? 2002. When did Johnny Carson die? 2005. When did Johnny Cash die? 2003. You really think it's been that? That one there. I didn't realize he'd been dead that long. I don't know. Oh, Clint. Yes. Yes. The Joe Diffie passing was difficult for me. It was during Corona. But man, housing market. Let's transfer over to the let's transfer. This is Deerwood Realty STL website. You got, here's what you need to worry about if you're worried about the housing market dying. Mortgage rates jumped 24 basis points to 6.23% today. That's not good. I wanted to be at 5.5%. I've said I want to be at 5.5% for so long. And if you want to really take the steam out of the housing market, put the rates up at 6-7% on a 30-year fixed. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing very well with showings this weekend, because that's going to do it. I mean, if you're a first-time home buyer and you're at 6.5%, good Lord, that's not good. I did close a deal this week where we all sat around the table and said the rates have to go down at some point, so you should be able to refinance. It's never a positive thing. Anyway, I'd like to be at 5.5%. This is not good. Not good. Just going to be honest with you. Although I have two buyers that are buying in cash. And so they don't particularly, actually, there's another lady that's going to buy in cash too. They don't particularly care about the mortgage rates at all. In fact, they're looking at it like, well, house prices should go down. We should be able to pick up a pretty good deal. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's the first article for tonight. It says, housing market update, slowdown starts to ease. See, that's what I love about this stuff. Slowdown starts to ease as a drop in new listings hampers supply. This was written August 18th, 2022. This is on Redfin. So, I mean, everyone, they're like, you watch these narratives and it's like, the housing market's dead. And it's like, if the housing market's dead, then this weekend when I tried to show a house and it was gone in literally like 10 hours, how can the housing market be dead? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, there was this thing that says, I mean, maybe nationally, the housing market's terrible. Maybe. St. Louis last weekend was pretty darn strong. Says a number of metrics that reflect a cooling market are now leveling off. Among them, housing supply and the share of sellers slashing their list price as would-be sellers back away in response to dampened homebuyer demand. So it says the housing market slowdown is starting to slow down. Fewer homeowners are listing their homes due to ebbing homebuyer demand. That's hampering the recent growth in housing supply that has been forcing sellers to slash their prices. I mean, like, if you look at this article right now, you're like, I don't even, this is like foreign to me. And it was like 10 days ago. Oh gosh, I got a mess. Did it come back? Okay. It says, the number of homes for sale during the 4 weeks ended August 14th fell slightly from the prior 4-week period, the first decline since the start of the year, as new listings plummeted 14% from a year earlier, the largest annual drop since June of 2020. Now, the argument here is that there aren't that many new listings, and so that means that, I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. We've had trouble with supply for the entire time. So fewer listings, not good. It says with fewer homes hitting the market, the sellers who remain aren't facing as much competition from other sellers. Consequently, the share of home listings with price reductions, a key gauge of cooling market, is no longer surging and is leveled off at its record high. Well, that's not a good thing. The share of listings with price cuts also may be plateauing because sellers are adjusting to the cooler market and pricing more in line with buyer expectations from the get-go. This isn't true. This isn't true. If, as a listing agent, if I go out there tomorrow, okay, and I say, hey, I'd like to list your house. And they say, good, the neighbor just listed their house last week. We think our house is $25,000 better than their house. And I say, I mean, the rates just jumped up in the 6.3, 6.4%. And we don't care. We don't care. Our house is better than the person's down the street. It's tough. It's hard to understand what to do with that. But anyway, it says, following months of declines, the share of homes selling within a week has leveled off at around 25%. Another sign the housing market slowdown is easing. Now, I can tell you that in St. Louis right now, I mean, you put a house on the market that's priced right, okay, it's gone in a weekend. It's gone in a day. So now this is where, like, you know, you're dealing with large numbers. National numbers may indicate 25%, but I'm telling you, in certain pockets of the United States, this is not true. It says many homeowners who have been reluctant to put their houses up for sale during a market. Many homeowners have been reluctant to put their houses up for sale during a market slowdown, which is now holding back inventory growth. Well, the stagflation situation is real. It's coming. Well, yeah. What you say is true, Clint. That Yellen did say that, and it's kind of here. Like, I don't know if I can just do that and say, you know, like I can show that along the bottom there. So yeah, right. So, you know, yeah. Anyway, this idea that, like, think about this just for a minute. Like, this article says many homeowners have been reluctant to put their houses up for sale during a market slowdown, which is now holding back inventory growth. Okay. But, like, you're telling me that this person just magically decided now, like, we've had maybe a 35 to 40% increase in home prices over the past 2 years. And they just decided now, like, hey, there might be a slowdown, so I'm going to wait to list my property until the market slows down. It doesn't make any sense. It says that means buyers have fewer homes to choose from and may lose some of their newfound bargaining power, which allows sellers to maintain their list prices instead of having to cut them. Like, I don't agree with this. I mean, this is why we have this stream. Look, you can read articles like this, national articles from Redfin, okay? And then you can talk to people that are actually in the marketplace working the you know, day by day. And it's like, this is not what I'm even close to what I'm saying. Now, I don't have the title of deputy chief economist for Redfin. It says leading indicators of home buying activity for the week ending August 18th, 30-year mortgage rates fell to 5.13%. That's down from a 2022 high of 5.81%, but up from a 3.22% at the start of the year. Well, we fixed that problem today, didn't we? It says fewer people search for homes for sale on Google. Searches during the week ending August 13th were down 17% from a year earlier, but up from 16% from late May. The seasonally adjusted Redfin Homebuyer Demand Index, which, you know, yeah, a measure of requests for home tours and other home buying service from Redfin agents, was down 14% year over year. I don't really get this. And then it says touring activity as of August 14th was down 5% from the start of the year, compared with a 14% increase at the same time last year. So let's look at that statistic. Touring activity as of August 14th was down 5% from the start of the year. Okay. But I mean, are we talking, what about a seasonal slowdown? Like, traditionally, you get into August, everyone's got their kids already back in school, market's kind of cold. It says mortgage purchase applications were down 18% from a year earlier. That is fascinating because I talked to my lenders and I asked them, like, hey, how are you doing with mortgage applications? And they look at me like I've got 3 eyes. Like, what? We don't pay attention to that. So, I don't know. Okay. So this is a little bit too much words for me. I'm getting tired. I just want to show it. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. So I don't agree with this article. Like the fact that it was slowing down before, I was trying to help buyers in July. It was absolutely a nightmare. You go show house after house. And it's not like when we were out there, like we were the only ones looking at this house. There would be like lines, even though we'd set up appointments. All right. I'm done with that one. Now, this one I'm trying to figure out too. Adam Data Services. This is the they're big on selling their data services, but this is the press release. I saw this a couple places and I just wanted to go over it. This is from the 18th too. It says zombie property count inches up again in third quarter of 2022 across the U.S. amid continued rise in foreclosure activity. It says Adam, a leading curator of real estate data nationwide for land and property data, today released its third quarter 2022 vacant property and zombie foreclosure report, showing that 13 million residential properties in the United States sit vacant. That figure represents 1.3% or 1 in 78 homes across the nation. Well, that's weird. Why are all these houses sitting vacant when we're having problems with supply? And it's not like, are we being lied to that there's actually supply? It says, the report analyzes publicly recorded real estate data collected by Adam, including foreclosure status, equity, and owner occupancy status, matched against monthly updated vacancy data. And then it says vacancy data is available for U.S. residential properties at this space. It says the report also reveals that 270,470 residential properties in the United States are in the process of foreclosure in the third quarter of this year, up 4.4% from the second quarter of 2022 and up 25% from the third quarter of 2021. This latest increase marks the fourth straight quarter that the count of pre-foreclosure properties has increased since a nationwide moratorium on lenders pursuing delinquent homeowners imposed after the coronavirus pandemic hit in 2020 was lifted by the end of 2021. Is it possible that when your average mortgage monthly payment is in the $2,000 range, you have a medical emergency or something, you might just miss your payment. It's absolutely ridiculous. It says among these pre-foreclosure properties, 7,707 are zombie foreclosures, pre-foreclosure properties that sit vacant in the third quarter of 2022, up 1.8% from the prior quarter and 2.2% from a year ago. We see two trends heading in opposite directions. The number of vacant properties continues to decline and the number of zombie properties continues to increase, although neither trend appears to be particularly worrisome. Vacancy rates should continue to be as low as investor and prospective homebuyers compete for limited inventory, and the number of zombie properties should continue to increase slowly as foreclosure activity climbs back from historically low levels due to government intervention. It says the number of zombie foreclosures does remain historically low and continues to represent just a tiny segment of the nation's total stock of 99.8 million residential properties. Just one of every 12,947 homes in the third quarter of 2022 is vacant and in foreclosure, meaning that most neighborhoods still have no such properties. The portion of pre-foreclosure properties that have been abandoned into zombie status, meanwhile, continued to decline from 3.5% to 2.9% in the second quarter of 2022 and 2.8% in the third quarter of this year. Okay. But the level of all homes sitting empty as zombie properties have grown for the second quarter in a row and now is up to 3.6% from 1 in 13,424 in the first quarter of this year. The latest bump ups in overall and zombie property counts, while presenting an issue to watch, comes at a time when the relentless U.S. housing market boom has continued into its 11th year, despite forces that threaten to slow it down, like rising interest rates, inflation. Aside from Cleveland, the highest zombie foreclosure rates in major metro areas with at least 500,000 residential properties and at least 100 homes facing foreclosure in the third quarter of 22 are Baltimore, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Indianapolis. It's nice to see St. Louis represented. Yeah. Anyway, I just don't get, look, if these properties that sit vacant, okay, and people are telling me that it's a supply problem, like, that's not good. That's not good. I'm going to get rid of that there. Well, we've had a show tonight. We have people in the chat. That was fun. We have a Joe Diffie reference. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, we learned about zombie properties. Like, there's no like there's 1.4 million houses sitting vacant out there. And the analyst says, well, don't worry about that. It's no big deal. But it could be a deal. Because I remember in 2007, okay, everybody and their brother had a house that wasn't what they were living in. And then the market went to hell. And so now all these people had these houses and they're like, I'm not going to make any money on this house. I'm just going to let it sit, go into foreclosure. Now they say that's not true. Like, now we don't have to worry about that. It's a supply problem. We don't have enough properties for people to buy. Well, if people have been speculating on real estate like they were in 2007, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't speculate on real estate? Think about that. If your borrowing rates are 2% on a 30-year fixed, I mean, if you can get the money that you can get in 2 years, and now what happens is one of the things I'm very good at is always predicting the tops of markets, because these things start to sound interesting to me. So, for instance, if you ever hear me investing in the stock market, get out that day, because when I'm jumping in, that's the day that things are going to go down. Same thing with housing. I mean, when I look at tax records, okay, and I see this couple that bought a house in 2020, okay, for like, say, $200,000. They did nothing to the house and they're moving on a job relocation and they're listing it for $260,000. That's a pretty good deal. And then some people say, well, the market could go down. Well, if the market goes down, 10%? Are those people really hurt? Well, there we go. Now, BlackRock was borrowing at 0.5%. Let's talk about BlackRock for a moment, because I actually have some experience with them. I listed a house about a month ago, and I had it coming soon for about 2 weeks because I was busy, and I wanted to generate interest in it, and I didn't have the pictures or anything ready. And so when I had it coming soon, I started getting offers before the property even went active. Like, no one was even inside the house, and I was getting offers. One of the very first offers I got was from BlackRock. The house I listed it for $250,000. I thought that was ridiculous, because the comps were like 240. BlackRock came in at 245 immediately and said, we will buy this house in cash right now for 245. Now, I sold it north of 270 in cash, but don't kid yourself. Like, between Zillow, before they blew up, BlackRock, there's another group out there that's also buying single family homes for rentals. And then these iBuyers. So like Open Door, there's two others, OfferPad. Like they helped fuel this ridiculous market. Okay. Don't kid yourself. I mean, it's really, I mean, it ought to be interesting. It ought to be interesting to see how it all plays out, because you had a lot of institutional buyers. Now, the last I saw is that BlackRock pulled out of 38 cities in the United States, like last week. But just understand, when I get an offer on a property and an agent calls me and says, do you have any offers on the property? And I already have like 3, and I haven't even made it active yet. I mean, that's going to cause people to write, obviously offers over asking. I mean, if I have 3 offers, it's highly unlikely they're all going to be below asking. So anyway, I don't know. What a wonderful night. What a wonderful night. Probably the best, it started off terribly. I spent 10 hours on my camera today, but man, I had people in the chat, had fascinating things to talk about. Man, I'm going to go to bed happy tonight. So I'm going to head out. Thank you for watching. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.